Jai Hind everyone. My name is Narendra Kumar, Assistant Professor, Computer Science Department, Akgec EC. And today we are going to discuss an important topic, and which is the important topic. Why? Because it is introduced first time in final year of AIML and data science branch of the BTech. So it is most important part, because if we are belonging to or to AI or work on the basis of the AI or generative AI, basically we are working with the AI. Each and every domain are belongs to the AI, and each and every field will involve or integrated with the generative AI or AI concept, because AI is the tool which work on the basis of automation. And before starting this session, I would like to introduce generative AI, principles of generative AI, because if we are talking about just like Alexa or Siri or Chat GPTs or any generative AI tools, which are much more important for us in terms of business, in terms of engineering, in terms of agriculture, in terms of medical science, in terms of principles or any education field. And it also then we are going to start the first point, what is generative AI. And if we are talking about generative AI is nothing but a type of AI that create new content. In terms of new content based on the data it was trained, just like neural network. Because if we are talking about neural network, it consists of data or the raw data or input and output. On the basis of input and output, we will decide which model are best suitable for the data process. And it is also work on the automation, because it will learn from the previous data set or previous result and improve itself. That's why it's called generative AI. And it also include, if we are talking about generative AI, it includes text, video, audio and images. We can store or translate the one form to another form. We can create on the basis of text, we can create any audio or extract audio and from the video. We can extract audio from the video, and also we can extract text from the video or audio or image as well. And from the point of view, we can also work out with the help of some tools, just like that. Before starting this session, we will talk about what is generative AI and what are the importance of generative AI. And it is the part of, if we are talking about generative AI, it is the part of or subset of machine learning. And machine learning also is subset of AI, artificial intelligence, on the basis of agents. And it is also belongs large language model. If we are talking about large language model, then we will must talk about the billions of data set or billions of data or billions of attribute which belongs to that particular data set. And apart from that, there are some key concepts which is important in terms of generative AI. First one, we have to train the data to take the appropriate output. And apart from that, we will apply some neural network approach to gain the appropriate result on the basis of, or if we are talking about the data or the training, it is the generative AI model learn from the vast amount of data to understand the pattern and the structure. Because if we are talking about the structure, then it will work on the basis of the tiers, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. On the basis of tiers, it will improve itself and provide a appropriate or optimal or effective result to the user. Just like if we are talking of the Alexa is a one kind of generative AI tool, and it will, when we are starting with the Alexa, then it will also improve the data to give the appropriate answer on the basis of previous results. And if we are talking about the neural network, then it is the foundation of generative AI to enable the complex problem or complex relationship in the data, or in terms of the complexity, or in terms of the relationship in terms of the keys or foreign keys, candidate keys or super keys. And if we are talking about the prompt, and prompt is the most important part, because prompt decide how we'll get the data or appropriate data. If the content of the prompt is not accurate, then it will not provide the effective data. And a prompt can build with the help of keywords. On the basis of the keyword, we can create or differentiate or uniquely identify that particular content and get appropriate result. And on the basis of that, we can generate the data in terms of text, image, audio, video, or even code. Code means programs. And we also involve some effective techniques to involve generative AI. We can analyze everywhere we can get the generative AI, and in teaching field, generative AI will provide enhancement of all the tools to provide the effective content for the educators, for the students, to make different types of appropriate functionality in terms of learning and teaching experience. Apart from that, the types of generative AI. When we are talking about generative AI, then it consists one generator which generates the input on the basis of the some output based learning, and apart from that, it will also reimaginator, because if we are talking about reimaginator, then it will generate new things on the basis of the previous results, and it will interpret or existing data or innovate some terms or some technologies which is belongs to the on the basis of previous data. And the third one is synthesizer. It also create a synthetic data just like artificial data, and we on the basis of this data we can create animation, or we can create any innovative technology with the help of generative AI. And it also include assistance which offers or who offers the how to work with the generative AI, or a specialized in terms of knowledge, in terms of work. And it also has some infrastructure base to enable the appropriate infrastructure to provide appropriate result in terms of computational power. Next, there are different types of terminologies we will work with the generative AI, and it also include training, prompt and generation. On the basis of data, we can apply the data or train the data with the help of appropriate model or AI based model, or with the help of infrastructure. And it also includes prompt, because as I already told you, prompt is much more important part of the generative AI. If we provide effective prompt, then we will get a appropriate optimized result on the basis of your prompt. And generate, on the basis of model, we can generate different types of data, or we can also differentiate the just like the supervised learning or unsupervised learning. We can make the data from unsupervised learning to the supervised learning, or structured or unstructured data to structured data on the basis of AI. And it also includes, as I already told you, generative AI is the part of deep learning, because deep learning is also the part of machine learning and also the part of artificial intelligence, and it also includes some portion of data science, which is much more important part, because if we analyze the data, if we structure data, or in terms of the statistical concept, we can create different types of map on the basis of data science. We can create or analyze the data, large amount of data, and we also structure the data with the help of data science approach. And if we are talking about generative AI applications, then we can create text generation, we can create the text generated data with the help of generative AI, and creating articles we can automate. Just like if I am working in as a faculty or as an assistant professor, then AI will help me to manage the data or create the data in effective format. Just like we can create use different types of tools, just like cohort or mentimeters, or different types of tools, just like or LMS portal, learning management system, which is automated, or we can schedule the data, or we can report the data, we can feedback or assessment of the student, we can create easily on the basis of some AI tools, or and on the basis of artificial intelligence, including generative AI. We can create the data article, we can create the article, because if I want to filter out or create some research methodology or research gap of different 100 data or 100 research paper, then if we are work with the manual approach, then we will take more than 10 days, minimum of more than 10 days. But if we utilize the generative AI concept, just like ChatGPT, just like Gemini or Microsoft Copilot, or different DeepSeek, or different types of tools, then we can create these differentiation within 5 minutes using generative AI. And we can also create the data or article on the basis of effective content, or new article, we can create new article, and we also command the generative AI tools to write a poem which is unique, then we can also create, and we can also convert this poem to audio, and also we can automate or animation approach. We can create animated video with the help of generative AI without any effort or without any much more expenses. And we can also create code. When we belongs to the generative AI, then there is no core knowledge, core fill effective workout, because AI will help out to generate a code or generate a project itself and effective format in effective format in any language, and and also responses, just like Alexa. When we command Alexa, then it will revert as an output and work with just like when I am said to the Alexa, just turn off light, Alexa turn off light, turn on light, then it will command, and it will helpful for us to work from anywhere. And we also work out on the image generation, audio generation, and video generation. If we are talking about audio generation, then we create a new image on the basis of some few description of the part, or we can modify any existing image with the help of generative AI. And there is a lot of images which are floated in the social media platform. They are generated with the help of generative AI tools. And we can also generate audio content. We can generate music composition. A lot of studio are working on the AI or use the AI tools to create a new song, and that song is also effectively benefited or effectively integrated with that particular video. And we can also create a speech. We can record the session, and we can convert the audio to the text with the help of speech recognition or pattern recognition based. And we can perform different types of effect, just like sound effect. We can perform different types of sound effect with the help of generative AI, which is not possible in any means in terms of manual approach. And we also generate videos by creating short videos, just like we already seen different social media platforms, just like YouTube. We can scroll it and we can get the instant or multiple information or multiple resource from that generated videos. Next, the fundamentals of generative AI. That is most important. Before we are saying anything, then or talk about the principles of generative AI, then we must talk about fundamentals of generative AI. It also include artificial intelligence, just like I already told you, because generative AI is the subset of artificial intelligence, and it also include software or idea to make the brain or human intelligence, which is much more powerful than the human intelligence. And it also categorized in different format. There are two formats: the traditional rule based AI and machine learning based AI. And apart from that, if we are talking about the traditional rule based AI, then we just follow the script, just like we follow the script and provide the consistent experience, or on the basis of consistent experience, it will self-replicate, self-refine itself and provide the appropriate result. And if we are talking about the machine learning base, then we will involve neural network or some neural based approach or algorithm. On the basis of these algorithm, we can rectify or we can create a new thing. And apart from that, we can learn different types of tools or improve the tools or on the basis of previous learning experience that will be in dynamic in nature. And apart from that, we can talk about the generative AI. We can create different types of generative AI, just like unique text or image or sound with the help of the machine learning approach, or we can apply different types of machine learning approach or algorithm, just like classification and regression on the basis of or some random forest terminologies. With the help of generative AI, we can enhance the quality of research paper, we can enhance the quality of research, or we can enhance the popularity or specializations of that particular research. And we can also improve in terms of time. We can get the maximum amount of the data with less amount of time. That is the advantage of generative AI. And it also include large language model. Just I already told you, large language model, then it will improve the different terms which is used to understand the human language, because if we are talking about the English, Hindi, or anything else, then we will work on the basis of the pattern recognition. We can identify Harappan's Sanskriti script, or just like Brahmi script or Devanagari script. Then we can elaborate or rectify the actual context in terms of the natural language. And we also make the easier concept with the help of generative AI. And if we are talking about generative AI, then we will also talk about the artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is nothing but the capability of machine to perform tasks at that normally required by the human intelligence. It will automate the task, or it provide the better or easier approach to the human being and perform the better result than the human being. And it also includes on the basis of speech recognition, on the basis of identifying patterns, and on the basis of decision making. If we are now if we are talking about the current scenario, then if we are going to discuss or deal with someone other company, if I am talking about my company and my company is dealing with the other company, then we will require a AI agent as a advisor. Then on the basis of the discussion between the two parties, on the basis of the MOU, on the basis of the agreement, that artificial agent will decide the deal is how much effective, or how it will work out, or there are some doubts or confusions, or some clause are involved in that particular deal, or some clauses are not appropriate for that particular deal. It will also helpful for the business approach. We can use generative AI in terms of cryptocurrency. We can create ledgers, we can create blockchain architecture on with the help of the generative AI. We can also perform the stock exchange. We can also perform air traffic system with the, or we can also improve the quality of that particular effect on the basis of air quality. We can identify the air quality impact, and we can rectify the cause of that particular impact, and on the basis of the generative AI, when we will use the generative AI principles. And artificial just recognizing the speeds, recognize, as already told you, speech, decision making, identify the patterns, and it also deal with the some problems which are work out with the help of the problem solving approach, and which makes the decision making pattern effective and create the effective decision. On the basis of the effective decision, we can create different types of deal. We can create different types of content or effective content with the help of AI. And it also include the AI unique ability to process the task, or on the basis of the predictions. We can, if we are talking about the healthcare field, then we can analyze the breast cancer or any cancer or any type of disease. We can predict the disease on the basis of that particular reports content. On the basis of these attribute, we can identify which is the disease, or which part are infected with that particular disease. And apart from that, we can predict the different types of pattern. On the basis of that pattern, we can predict which disease is occupied, and that has some impact on the human body. And we can also, on the basis of generative AI, we can perform the better surgery with minimum operation, with minimum area of operation, or with minimum time. We can operate any operation with the help of generative AI, so that we can perform different terms or surgery, or in terms of drug prediction, drugs formation, or drugs discovery with the help of generative AI in less amount of time. And apart from that, we also includes, these are the some points which are much more important if we are talking of the generative AI. First one is autonomous system. And if we are talking about generative AI itself, it talk about the automation. Just all the approach or all the work will automate by the machines. Just like one example, right now China has created a whole more than 200 kilometers of road without any human involvement. It is the part of generative AI. On the basis of generative AI, it will take minimum time and perform maximum efficiency if we use generative AI approach. And machine learning, deep learning, neural networks, we can perform these tasks, or we can integrate the generative AI with these field: pattern recognition, natural language processing, chatbots just like Alexa, or any other type just like Siri. And we have different types of agent which will work or enhance the quality of calling, or in terms of the just like chatbot, or if we are talking if we have some problems in terms of the banking sector, then we can talk to the chatbot, and on the basis of the chatbot we can find the appropriate result or the solution of that particular problem. We can also utilize generative AI in real time emotion analysis. We, on the basis of the emotions, we can predict the behavior of that particular person, and on the basis of the tone of that particular person, then we can create the report different types of terms, or we can integrate artificial intelligence in terms of large language model to create generative AI concept, and we can integrate these terminology with the different types of, even we can also perform next generation cloud robotics. And we also discuss virtual companion real-time universal translation. With the help of generative AI, we can speak in any language, and with the help of generative AI tools, we can translate at the same time from one language to different language. It is the important part of the generative AI, and generative AI is much more important for us now in terms of marketing, in terms of each and every domain. If we are talking about health sector, agriculture sector, and each and every domain must belongs to the generative AI. And today's, that is the last point. Thank you so much.